Marriage is dope. In practice,
Sure.
you got to stop living for yourself.
Facts.
You got to live for somebody else. And then once you add kids to the, you got to live for a lot of other people. That might be very scary for somebody who's saying they want that, but you don't want these problems.
This is Caesar Walker, the cool, calm, collected one.
And I'm Ronnie Gatry, the emotional one.
And we are the Tipping Point Podcast, your source for the black male's perspective.
Tipping Point Podcast.
If men see that it's possible to really do this thing, to really have a good relationship with somebody who really cares about you, they're different than you. Y'all gonna have your quirks and your little moments, but at the end of the day, they'll swing on somebody for you. Like, you know what I mean? They don't play about you. You've seen us move as a unit, but you're hearing a lot of wild stuff out here about worst case scenarios in marriages. Like, do we have a responsibility in terms of like what we do in our own marriage? Not that is for the necessarily for the sake of other people, but it's almost like people are watching you regardless. What's your thoughts about that?
It's a deep question. I'll say this. I'll just start here. Every state's different. It's got different laws. So you're talking about the man, and you know, certain states are no alimony states. So you might move a little bit differently. To answer that particular question, there's two parts to this question, I believe. One of them is about your friend particularly, and the other is about just this responsibility. And I think the responsibility conversation can go longer. About your friend, and I don't know him, and I'm not even going to purport that I know him, but I'll say this. It just don't sound like he don't want to get married. And there's a lot, like, I can talk about some of my homeboys. You could do whatever. You could show them the most perfect relationship. Everything's great. They're going to say, man, that's great for you, man. I'm happy you got that, man. But shit, man, I don't know. That just means, honestly, I think it's something about themselves. Because I can remember being that. I can remember being like, I don't want to get married to the person I'm with, and this is the reason why, and that's the reason why, and this whatever. But y'all both can tell this. When you know, it don't take a whole day to recognize sunshine. When that's the person you're gonna marry, that's the person you're gonna marry. Right. So we're having a roundabout conversation about him specifically. He's saying, man, because of the laws in the state and blah blah. But if it was the one he wanted, you know your friend better than I know your friend.
Yeah, for sure.
He would eschew that, and he would be like, let's go ahead and do the thing.
And I agree with that, because I'm thinking to myself, but you keep looking over here. You know what I mean? You keep looking at, you know what I mean? And I know you want that. I know you want to be married. So I'm like, what you doing?
In theory versus in practice, though, right? In theory, marriage is dope. In practice, you got to stop living for yourself.
Facts.
You got to live for somebody else. And then once you add kids to the, you got to live for a lot of other people. That might be very scary for somebody who's saying they want that, but you don't want these problems. I didn't heard somebody say that before. There was like a guy was rapping, and he was a rapper. He wanted to be a rapper, right? I mean, I'm not belittling wannabe rappers, but he wanted to be a rapper, right? And he was good at it. And I remember a label exec was telling him, he was like, you know what? You don't really want to be a rapper. I could tell that's why you're not going nowhere with this, because it take you leaving the house. It take you traveling. It take you putting forth the effort to actually do music all the time, to do this, to do that. It take more than just saying you want to do something. Saying you want to be married versus putting in the work to do that, we all know that that's two different things. I mean, but I'm only speaking for one. I'm speaking about your friend through my friends, through a bunch of experiences.
Because we all got our friends. We all got homeboys.
Yeah, but mine not the ones who they in the streets. They outside.
Yeah.
My homeboys is outside. But when they outside, they still gonna say, nah, man, you're beautiful family, man. I want this kind of thing. But do you? It's equal parts. Do you want it? And did you find the right one? When you find the right one, I think that's the thing, man. Don't overthink it. When you find the right one, you go. But then there's that other part that you just asked, right? About what's our responsibility.
That's always.
And voice.
I mean,
I want you to pick up. I want you to pick up that, because
you are a guest.
No, but I want to hear what you guys are saying. I'm
a
part of the guest experience. We hearing what y'all saying.
He's bouncing stuff out. Yeah.
All day.
So I've taken a lot of smoke on this very podcast when it comes to responsibilities of us as husbands, when it comes to promoting and being advocates for marriage. My principles are different. I want you to know what you're getting yourself into. I want you to know the raw. I want you to know that you're going to have to be on the road. I want you to know that you're going to have to be sleeping in your car. I want you to know the gritty. If I could borrow your rapper analogy.
Go ahead.
I want you to know the gritty because marriage is not for the weak. It is not. I've been through a lot of the gritty. So when it comes to responsibility, I say yes, but my yes is rooted in don't show them all the rosy stuff. Show them the stuff that's going to test you as a man.
Yeah.
I'm a worst case scenario type of person though. So you talk about that individual's choice. You'll apply me to that. Huh. You know, like when I was thinking, what was that, 25, 26 when I got my first house? Give me the worst case scenario in this mortgage situation. Everything else has got to be good on top of that. But give me the worst case. If I lose my job, what's going to happen with this? This was my mindset. With marriage, you're talking about a lifetime covenant with another person. Give me the raw. I fell for the sensationalized iteration of what marriage is going to be like. I fell for that. It wasn't like that. It got real. So, do we have a responsibility? You better believe we do. But with that responsibility, we got to keep it gritty. Because marriage is gritty.
What's gritty? What's the gritty part?
Gritty? It's what I said.
Now this is where you and I have disagreed.
Yes.
But
we're going to resurrect this.
What makes it gritty?
I can go here again. I got a round trip.
Because I'm agreeing with you up to this point. You said you preaching. I think this is where we slightly part ways.
Walker, I'm going to make it very, very simple for you.
Okay.
One of the fundamental principles in marriage is when two become one.
Okay.
You take two of anything and try to jam them together and make it one. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. It is going to cause, what's the F word? Not that one, Al.
Yeah. We went to school. We took physics classes.
It's going to cause friction. Right?
The F is for physics. Go ahead.
Alabama, thank you. You're good.
Go ahead. It's not going to feel good. It's going to be tough.
It's not going to feel good. You take two of anything and try to put it together. This is the gritty. You want to know what the gritty is? That's exactly what it is. I got to come in and I got to abandon my way of thinking.
Okay. She
should do that as well. Asterisk. But you got two people.
Big asterisk in there.
You got two people who have to shed who they were before you came together.
Okay.
It's not, I don't know if that's ever pretty. Gotcha. I really don't.
Gotcha.
So there's my short answer.
Okay.
How'd I do, Walker?
You actually did well.
Wow.
You actually did well. But actually, I think you have kind of
softened?
You softened, though. You softened.